The hardest part about filming this video is that I know how long it's going to be. I have a tendency to ramble to begin with, and for this specific film, I have so much I want to say. So I'll try to keep it short, and as short as I can, but just get your popcorn ready just in case. I'll try to keep it under 10 minutes if possible, but it might not be possible because the story that I'm talking about right now is the best animated film that 20th Century Fox has ever released, Anastasia. And this movie was produced and directed by Don Bluth and Gary Goldman. And that is enough reason alone to like this, because in case you don't recognize those names, if you're in your 20s, especially late 20s, Don Bluth was your childhood. In fact, the next movie that I plan on watching and reviewing is another Don Bluth and Gary Goldman classic, but that's later in the week. So, Anastasia. It's a story that's based on an actual legend. There was a Russian group of nobles in power who got overthrown, and one of the youngest, Anastasia, she disappeared. She was never really confirmed dead, and no one really knows what happened to her. And like Rasputin's is the villain in this movie, and it's a real person that existed in real life. Look him up. It's actually kind of fascinating. So this is once again, much like Disney loves to do, taking an old fable and putting like a little twist and making a story based on that. So the story of this is that in 1920s Russia, a girl who has no memories of her past meets a boy who's trying to make a quick buck. And she soon discovers the secret to who she really is and all that stuff, and they go on this fantastic journey together, and that's the basics of all of this. And honestly, this is one of many movies that the soundtrack really helps carry it. There's such amazing music, and it's very massively put together. I mean, the animation still holds up after all these years. This was made in the 90s. I was in elementary school, dude. And it's such a beautiful story. And a funny story that has nothing to do with the movie itself, but when I was in elementary school, the first time I saw it was in Spanish. Because not me, I didn't do any of this shopping, but some idiot went out to buy it and got the Spanish version. So just thought I'd throw that in there for no reason. But anyways, yeah, it's a great movie starring a lot of voice talents. You got Meg Ryan and John Cusack coming together as the main characters. It's also got the voice talents of Christopher Lloyd, Kelsey Grammer, oh my god, Angela Lansbury, Bernadette Peters, Hank Azaria. There's a lot of great talented people in here, and it really they all fit so well together. It was very beautifully drawn. The artwork is amazing. I mean, what they do with the lights and the shadows, it tells a story. The picture really tells a great story. Because I mean, honestly, half the times with animated films, I can watch them with my eyes closed, and I'll get just as much enjoyment out of them. But this is one that you really should pay attention to it. The first time you watch it, just watch it and let yourself enjoy it. But every time you rewatch it after that, it just you see more and more of the details that they really worked hard to put into it that really help build the story up. And it's so beautiful. If you've never seen it before, what the hell is wrong with you? You have to see it. And if you have seen it before, go watch it again. At least once every month, you have to go watch this. And also just briefly mention that, this is the Family Fun Edition, which also comes with one of the special features. It has the sequel, which I didn't even know they had until I bought this edition. It's called Bartok the Magnificent. Apparently it was released a year later, and it's a spin-off sequel, kind of how The Emperor's New Groove had Kronk's New Groove. This is just like that, except so much worse. So yeah, that's just a thing. It also has commentary from Bluth and Goldman, which is amazing. And it also has the music, Aaliyah's music video for Journey to the Past, which I'm so glad they put on here. But I'm also very pissed that they didn't put the Richard Marx Donna Lewis at the beginning music video. Because honestly, that was the reason I loved this thing so much. That was the whole movie for me as a kid. I mean, the entire soundtrack is amazing, but that one is just so beautiful. I mean, it's a great little love song. It's the type of song you dance to at your wedding or something. And if I haven't already done it, remind me to put a link in the description to that music video, because I knew there was a music video, but I never actually saw it until like just before I graduated high school. Thanks to the magic of YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. I salute you. I'm getting off track, aren't I? But yeah, overall, this is just an amazing movie. A lot of great comedy. There's a lot of suspense, and even as an adult watching this, it made me tear up a little bit. You know, I mean, there were only 2 tears, both of them out of this left eye. Actually, technically 2.5, because there was a 3rd tear, but it didn't actually fall down. It dried up in there, and that was it. You know, just 2.5 tears out of my left eye. And then we get to the end credits, and we're listening to At the Beginning, and I'm like, fuck, and just bawling like a baby. But I just love that song so much. It's like 50% of why I love this movie is just that song. I mean, it's an amazing movie, don't get me wrong, but just, oh, that song. Even if this movie had never existed, that song would still be one of my all-time favorites. But if the song didn't exist, the movie wouldn't have quite as much power. At least for me, not at least. But yeah, still quite an amazing piece of artwork. I mean, this is just, I mean, it's so just fantastic and beautiful. I cannot say enough good things about this. I mean, there's a reason why I, a grown man, have so many damn cartoons in my closet. Now, because they're just that good. Some people, they grow up and they forget all about their childhood, but I'm clinging to every last bit of it that I can find. So yeah, it's just an amazing story. It's about 2 hours long, and it feels like a 2-hour movie too, but you know, every time it's always worth it. Any chance you can to just sit down and watch it, it is always worth it. Every time.